Once upon a time in a faraway kingdom, there lived a beautiful queen named Serena. She was known throughout the land for her grace, intelligence, and kindness. But despite her many qualities, Serena had one great sorrow. She had never experienced the warmth of love. One day, while strolling through the castle gardens, Serena came across an injured cat. Its leg was caught in a thorny bush. Without hesitation, she rushed to its aid, carefully extracting its leg from the thorns. As she cradled the wounded animal, she felt a surge of affection for it. She brought the cat back to the castle, where she lavished it with care, tending to its wounds and feeding it delicious fish. As days turned into weeks, the cat's leg healed, and it became evident that it was no ordinary feline. It possessed magical abilities. With a wave of its tail, it could make flowers bloom and birds sing. With a flick of its ear, it could summon fish from the castle moat. The cat was unlike any other pet Serena had ever seen. But as time passed, Serena began to notice something else about the cat. It seemed to gaze at her with an intensity that went beyond the adoration of a mere pet. Its eyes, like pools of liquid gold, held a depth of emotion that both intrigued and frightened her. One evening, as Serena sat by the window, lost in thought, she felt a sudden surge of affection for the cat. In that moment, she realized that her feelings for the cat were more than just those of a pet owner. She loved the cat with all her heart. The cat, sensing Serena's emotions, approached her and rubbed against her leg, purring loudly. In that instant, Serena knew that her love for the cat was reciprocated. From that day forward, Serena and the cat became inseparable. They would spend hours together in the castle gardens, simply enjoying each other's company. The cat would curl up on Serena's lap as she stroked its fur, and they would watch the sunset over the kingdom. But their idyllic life together was not meant to last forever. One day, Serena fell gravely ill. A terrible fever swept through the kingdom, and she was no exception. The cat, sensing the danger, stayed by her side, refusing to leave even when the royal healers pronounced her condition hopeless. For days, the cat did everything it could to comfort Serena. It licked her hand, meowed softly, and never left her side. But despite the cat's devoted care, Serena grew weaker, and as the sun rose on the final day, she knew that she might not wake up. With a heavy heart, she stroked the cat's fur for the last time and whispered, "I love you," before closing her eyes. The cat, hearing Serena's last words, sprang into action. It dashed out of the castle, racing through the kingdom in search of help. It didn't know where it was going, but it knew that it had to do something. Suddenly, the cat spotted a wise old owl sitting on a tree branch. The owl, who was also a friend of the castle, understood the urgency in the cat's eyes. Without asking questions, the owl took off and flew as fast as it could towards the castle. When the owl arrived, it wasted no time. It hooted loudly, summoning all of the kingdom's animals to the castle. Soon, a huge crowd of animals had gathered outside the castle, each eager to help in any way they could. Among them were rabbits, squirrels, deer, foxes, and even some mice. They all crowded around the castle, desperately trying to figure out how they could save Serena. Suddenly, a brave little field mouse had an idea. It knew that deep in the forest, there was a rare flower that could cure any illness. The only problem was that the forest was dangerous and the flower was guarded by a fierce dragon. Despite the danger, the cat and the owl knew that they had to try. So they led a small group of animals into the forest. After a long and perilous journey, they finally found the dragon's lair. But as they approached the flower, the dragon awoke and let out a deafening roar. Quickly realizing that they were no match for the dragon's strength, the cat and the owl used their wits to trick the beast. The owl pretended to be injured, and when the dragon tried to attack it, the cat scratched its nose so hard that it ran away in pain. With the dragon gone, the cat quickly picked the rare flower and raced back to the castle. As soon as the animals arrived, they began tending to Serena. The owl prepared a potion using the rare flower. while the other animals kept watch. After what seemed like an eternity, Serena finally opened her eyes. She was weak, but alive. The animals cheered, overjoyed at the prospect of their beloved queen's recovery. And as Serena regained her strength, she knew that she owed her life to the cat. It had saved her, not once, but twice. From that day forward, the bond between them only grew stronger. They were the best of friends, and their love for each other was a constant source of joy in the kingdom.